about forgiveness and why it's absolutely imperative that you learn to forgive. So think about one person that when you think about them, it really upsets you inside. You just can't get to harmony. You can't smile about it. And the more you think about it, the more it upsets you. So where's that going on? When you think about them, it's going on here, right, inside your brain. When you feel them, the consequential feelings that come from thinking about it is going on inside of you. Now, the way that your guidance system works is that when you're thinking and feeling something that's disharmonious or quote-unquote wrong, then it will show up in the physical body. The physical body is the last place a disharmony shows up. So if you've got someone inside of you that you hate or you just cannot forgive, you've got an energy that's not in harmony, right? So if you've got an energy that's not in harmony inside of you, the physical body will eventually show up to try and awaken you to say, hey, you're thinking wrong about this. Okay, so if you don't want to get an illness or a disease, then you've got to forgive. It's imperative, because here's the other thing. So everything that's manifest in the outside world is because of the frequency of your vibration, right? So if your frequency is high and loving, and then of course your outside world is going to reflect that. But if you've got stuff that you hate or you can't forgive, then that will block majorly good manifestations for you. So it can cause illness, and it can also stop you getting great results in your outer manifestations. So can you see how important it is to learn to forgive? Because you're the only one having the experience of the pain. Now you might think, but I don't want to forgive because that will get them off the hook. But they've got nothing to do with you. Nothing at all. They're doing whatever they're doing right now. You're the only one that's having the experience you're having. So forget about what it means for them. You don't need to tell them that you're forgiving them. It's got nothing at all to do with them. You're doing it selfishly because life will get better in every area for you. Your health will get better. Your manifestations will get better. Now, one of the real reasons it's difficult to do it is because you have to change who you are. Because at the moment you're righteous about it. You're saying that I'm right and he's wrong or she's wrong, right? That's what you're saying. You're looking at them and saying what they did was so wrong and I'm right in saying that. And then you get your friends and your mates and everybody that loves you and you say, you know what they did? And they say, God, they were so terrible. And so you validate your position with your friends. But that righteousness keeps the disharmony within you. So you've got to stop the story of being right about it. It may be true that you're right, that what they did was wrong, but it doesn't matter in terms of your health, your emotional well-being. You've got to get off it, and you've got to learn to forgive. As I said, not for their benefit. It's not getting them off the hook. It's getting you back to health. It's getting you back to a balanced, harmonious place so you manifest better, right? So the way to do it simply is to set the intention. Remember, this will help you. The ego doesn't like to hear this, but you are manifesting everything that happens in your life. You literally are. Most of it's coming from your unconscious, so it doesn't look like it's your manifestation, because you didn't think, right, I'm going to do that and make that happen. It just seems to happen. That's because you've got energies in your unconscious that are making reality the way it is for you, so that you can wake up to yourself. That's why it happens. You look at the outer world and you say, well, if I'm creating reality, then what must I believe for me to be experiencing that? So if you've got someone who's betrayed you, for example, right? So if there's betrayal in your world, then for sure the pattern of betrayal is internal. It's inside of you, otherwise you wouldn't get to experience betrayal. It's literally impossible. Now you might say, but I've never betrayed anyone and I never will. I don't want to, I don't like it, so how come they betrayed me? But look, you may not have betrayed anyone else, but you're betraying yourself. If you've got betrayal going on, how many times have you said you're going to do something and then you didn't do it? That's a betrayal. How many times have you said yes to someone when you felt no? That's a betrayal of self, an absolute betrayal of self. That's being inauthentic. That means you're betraying yourself. This is an easy example, but everything that comes in at you is your creation. Now it's a co-creation with other people. So it doesn't mean that because you've got betrayal in you, you make other people betray you. No, you'll bring people in who will betray you. That's what you'll do. You'll unconsciously bring someone in who would do betrayal anyway. So you don't make them do it, they're going to do it anyway. You just meet them. That's what happens. But you've got to get to forgiveness, because when you get to forgiveness, when you get out of your righteous place, what happens is, as I said, the difficult thing is that you have to change who you are. You have to change yourself from being righteous about a situation which separates you to being caring and loving. Now, you're being caring and loving to the part of you that they represented, not necessarily them. Okay, so to get to forgiveness, you've got to change yourself. You've got to get to a place of responsibility and loving. It's easy to be righteous. It's easy. Anyone can do it. Anyone can be angry. It takes great courage to get to a place of love. But the reward is amazing, because you get to experience love. You'll manifest love. Lovely situations, loving people as you heal it. So you've got to look at the situation that hurt you as part of your guidance system to enable a much more loving, higher vibrational manifestation in your life at the level of the physical presence, your mental presence, and your emotional presence, and your outer manifestations. You must do it, and you do it by saying, I am willing to forgive. Even if it's difficult at first, you say, knowing what you know now, that you must do it because it's going to help everything in your life, I'm going to start the process of forgiveness. Now, it might not take one time. You might have to do it every day for a while. But you've got to get to the place where, when you think of the person or situation, you feel at harmony. You're like, okay, I get that. And what you'll find then, you see, if you were betrayed, for example, and then later down the line, you've healed yourself, you've got to a loving heart space, and you meet Mr. or Mrs. Right, and relationships are way better. And when you look back, you think, of course, and what a gift they did, because I just didn't have the courage to end the relationship, because it wasn't right anyway. You might not be thinking that, you might have been thinking that it was right. But the fact is, how do we know you're not supposed to be with them in the context of betrayal? Because you're not with them. Can't be another way. So that's the undeniable truth. And as you go along through life, you'll realize, you'll look back and say, that was a gift, because it enabled me to look at myself and heal myself, and I'm in a way better reality. And if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be in such a great space. So you've got to do this work. It is the greatest work to make life so much better for you. Really the greatest work. Okay, that's it for this week. If you like this video, please click on the like button down there. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. I appreciate you. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. Thank you so much.